Alright, let's be so fucking for real right now with each other, me and you. If you have ever spent more than 30 minutes trying to find that one video that you need right now, or you forgot to message a client back, or let's say you missed a content deadline and you realized that the day after the deadline. Are you guilty? I know I was. If that's you, this video is the one you need. Hey y'all, I'm Allie, full-time six-figure creator, coach to creator, and the spicy nerd behind Creator Spicy Tea. And today we are diving into something that, well, it can absolutely change your life and your business if you let it. So today we are talking about getting our businesses organized. Yes. Okay, I know. Not even remotely close to the sexiest topic, I get that, but hear me out. Chaos will cost you in missed money, missed messages, missed opportunities, and y'all, it's not just what you end up missing. It's also going to take a huge toll on your mental health. So, if you want more income, less stress, and more control over your creator career, keep on watching. Here is the thing, y'all. So many people are entering this industry looking at it as like a hobby, a side thing, just for funsies, just here for the vibes, right? But, okay, the moment finances enters the picture, whatever you're doing becomes a transaction, and transactions happen between businesses and customers. So technically, you're a business then. And if you're running a business, then you have to treat it like one. Because this industry, y'all, we are so saturated. We are so saturated and so competitive. Oh my God. The creators who get organized are the ones who stay ahead. And let me be super honest and super upfront about it. I learned this shit the hard way. I've lost those half hours to hours digging for that specific video I needed. And I have missed deadlines, and I have missed messages or forgot that I needed to respond. I have done all of that so many times, I can't even count it out. And all of those hours I wasted searching for that video, let's say, those were hours I could have spent engaging with clients or, making money. That wasted time that we spend because of disorganization, it adds up so fast. When you build a system, even a super simple one, it's giving yourself more flexibility and more room and more opportunity for more income. So something that really, really hit home for me was realizing how deeply organization ties into consistency. Because, and I hate this, and I know we all hate this, but the reality is consistent creators are the ones who succeed. I hate it. But no matter how creative or unique or fantastic and amazing your content is, which it is, I don't care, I haven't seen it, but I can tell you it is. No matter how amazing it is, if you can't keep up with regular posting, your subscribers are going to cancel. If you fall off the radar for, let's say, a week, they're going to find someone else who shows up. Being organized helps get you ahead. Plan ahead and avoid that last minute panic. And the bonus, when you are ahead and when you are not constantly panicking, you look more like a professional. Even if you promote or create as an amateur, you still want to look like a business pro, So trust is everything in this space, right? Fans notice when you deliver what you say you're going to deliver, when you say you're going to deliver it. They also notice when you don't. And it only really takes a couple of complaints about being late or flaky or poor communication, and that starts messing with your reputation. And in an industry that literally thrives on word of mouth, you don't want to be the person other fans are warning each other about, because they are talking among each other about us, and you don't want to be that person. But honestly, this goes beyond professionalism. Like I said, it is about your mental health too. When you are disorganized, even if you don't necessarily consciously realize it, you're probably still carrying a constant low level of stress. You're always, trying to remember what you forgot, right? It's like the remember all. What good is it if you don't tell me what is it I forgot? Or you're just hoping nothing slips through the cracks, right? Oh my Lord, that shit eats at your energy and your creativity and your joy. And y'all, okay, I know the concept of getting organized can seem overwhelming. It's not about being perfect. It's not. It's about giving yourself freedom. Freedom from anxiety, freedom from being overwhelmed, and just space to breathe. All right. So before I dig in and explain kind of the systems and procedures I implement in my own business, I wanted to be super honest about what disorganization can actually cost you, and I'm talking a lot of the real consequences. One of the most commonly seen consequences of disorganization is missed messages. You know what I'm talking about. I know you do. I know what I'm talking about. We are all guilty, right? A buyer sends a DM. Maybe they're ready to drop some money on you on like a custom or a session or something, but because your inbox is a mess, you see it 2 days later, right? And by then, they've spent it elsewhere. Most buyers are not sticking with one creator. So if you're responding late, if you are not prompt with your responses, well, I can see in their mind how it could give them an excuse to go to someone who will be prompt, who will be there right away. I kind of implemented in my business one tool that has helped the mother truck load for me. And it is my clients to message tracker, right? Terrible name, super creative, I know. If someone expresses interest, even if it's just like tentative at best, I am still writing their name down on that tracker. I am also keeping that tracker open and visible on my tablet all the time, at all times, because y'all, bipolar and ADHD, we talked about this in, I think, the very last video we did on neurodivergence. If it's out of sight, it's out of my brain and it's gone. But if I have it staring me in the face in like my home screen on my tablet, I'm going to remember, right? And then after that comes the other big killer, missed deadlines. This is a big one. Missed deadlines. I learned really fast that if I'm going to take multiple custom requests at once, I need to have a system to track them. Forgetting one or delivering one late without communication, that is going to make your buyer feel scammed, anxious, uncomfortable, or pissed. Even if it's completely unintentional, it creates a sense of distrust. And nervous and anxious buyers, they're not becoming repeat buyers. And repeat buyers is how we long-term maintain our businesses. So here's how I stay on track for that. Every single custom I take goes into my client and order tracker, my one true love. I love her. I note who ordered it, what they want, when it's due, right? Then I create a custom note script sheet using my custom video script sheet template. And at the top of that file, do you know the first thing going in there? The due date. Bold as a mother trucker. It is also in the file name. This way I cannot miss that due date, or at least I can't miss seeing it. I even go further with all this. I have a tablet And on my tablet, I have a widget with a bunch of my different notes. And on that widget is all of my due custom note sheets. So that way, I have to see that every single day. Every day. It's so lovely, but it does keep me grounded, focused, and more importantly, honest about what I can realistically take on. Because let me tell you something about when I was newer. When I was brand new, I said yes to everything. And you know what that led to? Burnout like a mother trucker. Yeah, I burned out fast. Like within the first 3 months of doing this, I was already burnt out because I was taking on more than I could, and I just didn't know it. Organization saved me from that burnout spiral. It really, really helps. And if we're going to talk about organization, we also have to talk about money. We have to talk about financial disorganization. It is so incredibly easy to make expensive mistakes if you are not organized. Things like forgetting to charge the rest of a payment after you have a deposit, or losing track of what was paid and for what, or not saving receipts for taxes, or worse, missing a payment deadline and getting hit with fees such as our quarterly estimated taxes or even year end. It is a disaster waiting to happen. To combat that disorganization, I track every income source and every expense, right? Everything. And that's, everything, you guys. Track your software, track your payout fees even. Everything I spend to run this business goes in a tracker, in a expense tracker. Also, so important, keep copies of your receipts, physical and digital. If they come through email, which I know a lot of people's receipts are coming in through for this business, is through email, print them as PDFs, right? And save them in a folder. And then back them up. And I know, I get it. So that does seem like a lot. I get that. But if you ever get audited, you are going to be thanking past you on this. All right, let's talk systems now. Because the solution to all this chaos is it's not some one-size-fits-all planner that anyone out there has ready to go for you. It's not. It's building structure into the specific parts of your business that matter the most. And if you are neurodivergent like me, you know that those cookie cutter practices that everyone promotes, they don't work for us. If you want to go in depth on neurospicy systems and all of that could potentially work for folks like you and I, we just did a full-blown video on that. She was a juicy one too, so definitely check her out. One of the first places that I tackled was content planning. Okay, between Fansly, Telegram, I Want Clips, ManyVids, all the rest, right? Because we all have 7,000 million platforms. I was drowning. I had no concept of what was posted, where it was posted, when it was posted, and what still needed posted where, right? I'm drowning. That is why I made for myself the multi-platform content for sale tracker. So I use it to track every single long-form video that I have. I track everything from the video type to genre to where it's posted, when it was posted, etc. And y'all, that saved my ass, saved my butt when it came to organizing my content for sales. Saved my butt. Now I know where everything has been posted. I know what still needs to be posted. I know when and where and why and how. I know it all. I got it now. And y'all, I even use it to help me track my engagement metrics. Just really a useful tool for me to make sure I have consistency on my paid platforms, because we just talked about how stupidly important that is, I mostly use the native schedulers per platform. They're not perfect. They're not, but they do get the job done. But for Fansly, you guys are definitely going to want to check out Fan Growth IO's new extension. I got the joy and pleasure of sitting down with Linda, the creator of that, and helping her kind of see what the pain points are for creators on Fansly. So y'all, this platform was built with our needs directly in mind. It's a lifesaver. All right. That's platforms, right? Great, kosher. That does not touch on the mass amounts of social media content we have to post. So much more than platforms, right? For managing that, what I personally do, I sit down about once a week and I schedule everything out. I batch create and batch schedule. So I use tools like Fangrowth.io for Reddit, Twitter, Fansly, and for my other promotional platform, which is currently Blue Sky, I use Monad Sky. Love her. I can load everything in one go. It takes about 4 or 5 hours. Everything's scheduled. I can pretend it doesn't exist anymore. Once I had that scheduling down, I turned to storage. File chaos. So real. So real. You just saw when Casey and I were chatting on this in the most recent podcast episode. Chaos, right? Especially when you're dealing with edited clips, raw files, watermarked versions, promo assets. Oh my God, it adds up so fast to terabytes and terabytes and terabytes. So I needed to create structure. So I made it into a folder structure with main folders like photos, videos, promos, customs, whatever. And inside those are like SFW, NSFW, and then it's promotional platforms. Like this one, this folder is for Fansly, this folder is for Reddit, etc. Huge freaking tip, y'all. Rename your files the second you export them. How are you going to search for that one Valentine's Day video that you filmed about a month before Valentine's Day if it is that same generic line of numbers and letters that everything else is named? And y'all, that's not it. Back that up. Back that up. I'm serious. To store it in a cloud and a external hard drive. One of my biggest fears is losing my entire library because my laptop crashes. That is preventable. Then let's talk fan and buyer interaction, because that's a big one. So when it comes to DMs, I had to find a way to not be glued to my phone all day, which is what I was doing at the beginning. Again, burnout. No big shocker. So now I try to answer them in time blocks. Like I try and give myself, I'm going to be online 8 hours today, 9 hours today, 5 hours today, right? And in Telegram, I use folders and tags and pinned messages. So things like big spenders, they get a label. Creators, different tag. Potential leads, tagged. I even set custom notification sounds so I know who is messaging me before I have to look. My whales have their sounds. My Telegram subscribers have their sounds. My Fansly subscribers have their Telegram sounds. My friends have their own even. This way, the second I hear just the notification sound, I know if it's urgent or I know if it can wait. And then to save myself from retyping the same thing over and over, how many of us have been asked, what's your menu today? 17 times. Even though you have it posted everywhere. Hi, it's us, all of us. To combat that and the chaos of having to respond to all of those, I use quick replies on Telegram and I copy and paste from documents for other platforms. So that's things like how I accept payment, age verification, my limits, etc. They are all pre-written and ready to go. This way, if I'm on Telegram, all I have to do is go \AV and bam, that whole pre-formatted message drops. And if I'm on any other platform, it is just quick copy, paste, go. So more towards content creation. For customs, my process at this point, I think, is pretty airtight. I log them the moment they're ordered into that client and order tracker, like we mentioned. I log everything, username, price, deadline, what they want, everything goes in the tracker, right? Then immediately I create a quick script in my custom script note sheets and I prep it for filming. So at that moment, I'm probably only making a short outline, but I have length, main actions, main dialogue, just so it's all there when I'm ready to write out the script. I keep those visible, like I said. Every day I check what is coming due. What do I still have that can wait in the wings for right now? Even for myself, I have a limit of how many customs I'll take on at a time because I learned hard that taking too many just to make that money and crank it out, that ends with a very tired me and not my best content. And once again, riding on that burnout bowl. Yeah. Financially, to look at my system financially, I do monthly check-ins. So end of month is always chaotic and hard, but these are crucial for me. I use my multi-platform income tracker to see kind of what days I made the most, which platforms performed best, and like what trends are happening, right? I also, at the end of the month, log all of my expenses in my accounting software that I had saved throughout the month. Doing that is so important, y'all. Tracking your ingoing and outgoing finances is not just about taxes. It's about knowing your actual profit, not just what's in your account, but what you're really making after the costs. And then a super easy way to get organized, get your passwords offline. We've all been there, right? More times than we can remember. Me, like all the time in my past, all the time. The password battle is brutal. We're sitting there trying to remember which email we used for the platform or what our login is for a good 20 freaking minutes before just getting too pissed off and just changing the password altogether. Please tell me you guys are guilty of that too and it's not just me, please. Nowadays, I use not only an online password manager, but a physical copy where I handwrite my passwords and my logins. And I'm so grateful for that. So grateful for that. It has saved my butt. Nothing ruins a content launch or potentially receiving a big tip, like being locked out of your account and you can't remember the password to receive the tip, So that has saved my butt there. And then quick note for creators who collaborate. Track everything. Everything. Who it was with, what was filmed, payment splits, contracts you guys have, model release forms, 2257 forms. And also, not only do you need to track those, you need to have physical copies that you maintain for many, many years to help keep track for meetings for myself. What I do is I use alarms. One goes off 4 hours before the meeting, and that's just to get my brain a reminder, hey, you got some shit coming, get ready. And then the next goes off 30 minutes before, and that's to say, get off your butt, get ready, get ready, get ready. All right, and then finally for legal stuff, I have a digital cover your ass folder. That is literally what it is called. That is where I keep screenshots of client consent, client disclaimers for risky content like FinDoms, and proof that everyone involved in my content is legal and consenting. Having a cover your ass folder might feel like overkill, right? And I get that. But if anything ever comes into question about if someone consented to sending you that money as you were demanding them to, you're protected. All right, so let me wrap this long-ass video up with the realest advice I can give. You don't have to change everything overnight. And don't try. It'll be chaotic. Pick one messy area in your business and start there. Build that one system and then move to the next. Organization is not just some one-time task. It is a perpetual habit and routine that you build. But I promise you, it is the difference between drowning in files and barely keeping your head above water and just doing laps around that pool. And if you need help with that organization, every single tracker and every single planner that I just mentioned, they're all available over on creatorsspicytea.co/shop. I'll put that link below. These are the exact tools that I use literally every day. And if you need someone to walk you through setting them up for your specific workflow, or even helping you find your own organization strategies, we can sit down together. We can do that. Go ahead and check out a potential one-on-one in a quick hit strategy meeting with me, or a no holds barred strategy meeting. We can do that together. You do not have to dive into this alone. I will definitely put the links to those in that description box down below. Y'all, get your business out of chaos if it is in it. You will feel it in your brain, you will feel it in your body, you will feel it in your bank. I promise you. Alright, y'all. Thank you so much for sitting down with me. And tell me, kind of, where are you at with your organization? What areas do you need to tighten up? And please, if you have tips, if you have tricks, if you have tools, give me the goods. Give me the goods, please. Alright. Thank you once again for sitting with me. This is Allie with Creators Spicy Tea. I hope you are so safe. I hope you are so sane. And good Lord, I hope you're thriving.